A question that I frequently receive about the 10-item wardrobe is, how many extras should I have? We're going to talk about that in today's video. Hello, I'm Jennifer and welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. So many people feel more comfortable with boundaries and they want me to allot a number to the extras, just like to the 10 in the 10-item wardrobe. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not about the number. I'm always encouraging men and women who are discouraged about the 10 in the 10-item wardrobe. They feel like they can't get down to that number. And I'm always letting them know it's not about that number. I use the number 10 because it was significant to my story in Lessons from Madame Chic about what I noticed about the French wardrobe when I went to go live with Madame Chic. But it is not about the number 10. And if you look back at my 10-item wardrobes from the past, decade basically, sometimes I will have 10 core items. Sometimes I'll have 11, like this season for spring summer right now, I have 11 core items. Sometimes I'll have 12 or 13. Sometimes I'll have 9. It's not about the number. The 10-item wardrobe is not this rigid system that you have to conform to. It's not restrictions. It's not a set of boundaries. I use the 10 to help you and to let you know that yes, it is possible to have a 10-item wardrobe with 10 core items for each season that you use with your extras, which is what we're going to talk about in just a second. Because people just have a disbelief about it, But if you look back to prior generations, like our grandparents and our grandparents' grandparents, they did not have wardrobes that were stuffed to the brim with clothes. They simply did not. I don't care, where they're from. It was very uncommon to have so many clothes back then. And people probably just naturally used a 10-item wardrobe without even thinking about it. But now in this day of excess, it really is, something that people can't believe, but it's true. It works. It is something that is fantastic that thousands of people do. So let's talk about the extras today. Because people always say, well, can you just tell me how many extras you have? Or can you tell me how many I should have? And I never answer that question because it's totally up to you and your life circumstance and where you live and what you do. And it just depends. My advice is always, though, to maintain the same 10-item wardrobe mindset with the extras. It doesn't make sense to have 10 beautifully curated core items and 50 t-shirts, for example, right? That doesn't sound right. There's an imbalance there. You don't need 50 t-shirts. So, maybe a nice balance for you would be 5. Or if you happen to wear a lot of t-shirts, then maybe 7. It's not about the number. It's more about rounding out what you have. So you might have 4 or 5 different cardigans. You might have, one cardigan in a camel color, one cardigan in white, one in navy, one in black, and then you might have some lightweight sweaters or maybe ones that you layer over your dresses. It just depends. So here's what it depends on. Where do you live? Do you live in, England, where it frequently is colder, it can rain, the weather could change in an instant? Or do you live in Southern California where it's like 95 degrees every day for 7 months straight? Okay, it just depends on where you live. If you live in Southern California, you're not going to need a bunch of heavy sweaters. You're not going to need that in your spring, summer wardrobe. But if you live in a place where it can frequently burst into rain, it's colder, then you might need some heavier sweaters for that wardrobe. Do you see what I mean? How often do you go to the beach or do you go swimming? We have a swimming pool in our backyard, and so we go swimming a lot. So we each have a couple of bathing suits. Those are considered extras. They're not core items. You might never go. You might live in the Midwest and you might not have a swimming pool and you might not ever go to the beach or go swimming that often. So you won't need that many swimming suits. You might just have one, It just depends on what your life circumstance entails. But it's just really about holding yourself accountable and just really culling through all of that stuff. If you have a lot of t-shirts, let's say you have old concert t-shirts from the 90s that you never wear, but you're just keeping them because they're nostalgic when you look at them. Okay, you can get rid of those. You don't need them. Just keep what you wear. It's not about the number. It's really about having a capsule wardrobe that all works beautifully together. And if you truly are doing the 10 item wardrobe, that will just flow naturally for you. So whether you're curating your extras or your core items, please remember it's not about the number. Even though I call it the 10 item wardrobe, you don't have to have 10 items. Many people do because they like having that boundary and that goal to go toward. If I wasn't blogging this and trying to get it down to that each season, I probably wouldn't even notice. I probably would have anywhere between 10 to 15 core items is what I'm guessing. But because I really want to show to you and prove to you that it is doable, I've been more strict with it. But you don't have to be. So I hope that this video is an encouragement to you. If you want to know more about the 10 item wardrobe, please see all the links that I have below. I have so many resources for you on it. It really is a wonderful way to live your life. It's a lifestyle change. It's not just about fashion. It's not just about minimalism. It's about so much more than that. So I hope that this video encouraged you. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Daily Connoisseur, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!